Perfect, 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 perfect.
This is Iceman John Bailey. I wanted to do another segment on my Vertix, but this time what I want to do is I wanted to share with you guys what I've been doing over the last 15 years. When I first started bow hunting back in '84, quite naturally, bows were like 160 feet per second up to like maybe 180 feet per second, and back then that was fast. I started off with the whitetail, the bare whitetail, and then I graduated to the whitetail 2. And back then, like I said, I was using 4 pins, and at 40 yards, you gotta have that bow really elevated for that arc, for the arrow to hit at 40 yards. It was like crazy. So in the last 15 years, I thought about the concept of a rifle versus a bow. So I started doing some experimenting with different arrows, and 15 years ago I was shooting, believe it or not, I was shooting 350 grain total hunting arrow. And a lot of guys are gonna probably say, man, that's entirely too light. But I've harvested over 60 deer, rather, not just bucks, but 60 deer with with a 350 grain arrow. To me, it's all about shot placement. I don't shoot a deer square in the shoulder with an arrow. They're not designed for that. I mean, a bullet is, but an arrow is really not designed for that. Some broadheads are really good for bone, like muzzies and thunderheads. There's different tips are made for bone, but I don't shoot a deer square in the shoulder. I always try to pick a spot like that crease and inch higher than the knuckle, and that's where I hit a touch off on that release, and that's where I get a double long or a hard long or whatever. But I don't never shoot a deer square in the shoulder. Some guys do, but I don't, because you stand a chance of wounding that deer if it hits square in that bone. Sometimes the arrow will not penetrate that bone, so I definitely shy away from shooting them square in the shoulder. But I graduated to a 400 grain arrow. I want to say back in the year 2000, I started shooting a 400 grain arrow, and some guys are probably gonna still say, "Hey man, that's still too light," but not to me. But what I did, I thought about, like I said, a rifle concept. I made a video on another bow a few years ago, but I want to do it again. And this time, like I said, I'm shooting the Matthews Vertix, 2019 Matthews Vertix, and I'm getting 321 feet per second with the arrow. And with my setup, I'm shooting a 29-inch draw and a 71-pound bow. And like I said, this is the maximum red Badland 350 spine, and it's a 28-inch arrow, and it's a total weight of 400 grains with a 100 grain tip. But what I did, like I said, 15 years ago, I started experimenting with certain weight arrows and my draw weight, along with my my draw length. So I was trying to get at least 310 feet per second, and I was playing around with a single pin sight, and I came to the conclusion that I can actually hunt with my hunt with my bow similar to a rifle. So what I'm trying to say is, I was trying to figure out how to get my bow to shoot out to at least 30 to 35 yards without having to elevate my pin, because like I said, I've been shooting that single pin for like 15 years. So I was playing around with different arrows and different weights and try to figure out how flat I could get that arrow to shoot out to those distances. So once I fine-tuned everything, I stayed with the 400 grain arrow and 70 pounds of 29-inch draw. So when I started shooting a bow that was like 310 feet per second plus, I figured out I could get out to 40 yards, between 0 to 40 yards, without elevating my pin or without adjusting my slider or my dial on my HHA sight. So that really stepped up my game when it comes to harvesting bucks, because when you're in full draw with a buck and you have 5 or 6 pins, the chemicals in your brain sometimes makes you miss, because you thinking your first pin may be 10 yards, it may be 20 yards, and a lot of that stuff goes out the window when you're looking at that buck. And I mean, you talking about a 180-inch buck, 200-inch buck. A lot of that stuff goes out the window with your pins, and they all come together. And a lot of guys get so shook up about a buck, they put all of the pins on the deer and shoot. And you either hit high, hit low, bad shot, or whatever the case may be. But I just said, you know what, I'm gonna simplify it. So I'm gonna try to figure out how to shoot from 0 to 40 with one pin without having to elevate my pin. And it's been working great for me. So I'm gonna show you guys what I'm talking about with my Vertix. Like I said, I got my Vertix here set. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I got it set. I got it set at 40 yards. And I'm going to take a couple of shots and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. But this bow here, like I said, it's shooting 321 feet per second with a 400 grain arrow. And also later on in this video, I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you some bonus photos from where I was in Africa in 2016. In October 2016, shooting this same exact arrow, but I had my Halon 6, and it was shooting, the Halon 6 was shooting 311 feet per second, and this bow, like I said, shooting 321. It was shooting at 311 feet per second, my Halon 6, and I was blowing through big animals. So I'm gonna show you the photos. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna show you the videos and the photos of those animals that I shot in Africa back in 2006. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and take a couple of shots, and I'm gonna let you guys check out the accuracy of this bow and the flat shooting of this bow, and then I'm gonna get back to the video. Okay, I got the target set at 20 yards, and I'm just gonna take one shot, and then I'm gonna move it back to 40 yards and take the shot, take another shot, and without elevating my my dial on my bow. So this is a 20-yard shot. Okay, just showing you that shot there. It's gonna be somewhat of an uncut video, so even if I make a blooper, you'll know about it. And now I'm going to move the target back to 40 yards. I don't know if you can see it or not, but still got it on 40 yards. And let me zoom it in to 40 yards. I'm gonna take a shot and still have this dial on 40, and I got it at 40 yards. And let me take another shot and see where it hit. It shot a little low. It shot a little low. Let me try it again. I had the pin a little low. Let me try it one more time. Let's try it one more time. I haven't shot this bow in a while, so a little rusty. Feel like it. Okay. Can y'all see that? See where it hit? Alright, like I said, I don't know if you guys can see my slider or not. From 0 to 40 yards. Like I said, I don't even have to elevate. I don't even have to move this dial from 0 to 40 because I just thought about the rifle concept. A lot of guys zero stuff in at inch high, 2 inches high at 100 yards. But what's so cool about this, I could shoot this from 0 to 40 and it won't shoot high. At 10 yards, it won't shoot high at 15 yards. It shoot exactly where I put the pin. And the only reason why I know that is because I've tried it for the last 15 years and I try to figure out, okay, how can I simplify my bow hunt? How can I simplify the way I harvest deer? Because mainly bucks. And I haven't started trophy hunting until the year 2000 when I shot my double drop time. That's when I started trophy hunting because it just done something to me. It made it more special and it made me respect the game more and made me start managing my deer instead of shooting everything. They say brown, when it's brown is down. I think that's a ridiculous statement. I think we need to reserve, or should I say preserve our harvest, preserve our animals, our game animals, because you got, here in Georgia, you got the privilege to shoot 2 bucks and 10 does, but why in the world would you want to shoot 10 does just to have bragging rights? And the only reason why I shoot the kind of deer I shoot is because they're mature bucks. And some bucks got the 100, my biggest buck had 171 inches, but I picked that buck because I liked him. And I have my last buck I shot, he might be 135 because I liked him. So it's all about what you like. It's not about the biggest rack. And it's about also a mature deer. And that's just my thing. And I'm thinking, okay, when I stop bow hunting, at least I manage my deer to try to help the herd, to help the fawns, help the does and the fawns be healthy as well as the bucks be healthy. So my camera's crooked, sorry. And oops. I'm on, I don't know, it still might be crooked. Anyway, I just owe it to the game. We all owe it to the game to make a humane harvest and be as efficient as we can. So that's why, like I said, I just decided to try to figure out how to have a flat shooting bow where I could put that single pin on him from 0 to 40 without any elevation or any adjustments. Because some guys may have that dial set on 20 and they're shooting a fast bow, and then you put it at 30 and 35, whatever the case may be. That's not always the case, because if you shoot it out at 40 yards and you're shooting a 310 feet per second arrow, you should be able to go back up to 30 and 20 and shoot the same spot within a half inch or so. That's not going to hurt a thing. But you also have to take into consideration, if you have a 500 grain plus arrow, 450 grain plus arrow, it's going to be a little bit different. Because if you're shooting a 500 grain arrow, a 29-inch draw, and a 70-pound bow, you may be able to shoot between 0 and 30 yards because you got a heavy arrow, and so on. But it's all about testing what works for your bow. But I encourage all bow hunters, especially trophy hunters, to try to figure out how your bow can be as efficient as possible in the woods. Try to figure out how to shoot from 0 to 40 with one pin and then go from there. Because I'm telling you, when you got 6, 7, and 8 pins on your site, and you got that big buck coming in, uh, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna remember that your first pin is 20 yards, 10 yards, or what? So, but like I said, that's just a tip that I threw out to you guys, and hopefully it'll help somebody. But I'm telling you, it worked for me. It just drove my efficiency and harvest ratio up like 80% since 15 years ago. And like I said, we owe it to the game to make an efficient shot. And sometimes that buck's gonna only give you 3 to 5 second shot. So when you have full draw, you don't have to think about, okay, is he 30 yards, is he 20 yards, is he 40 yards? Just put that pin on him. If you know he's within that range, boom, you got him. And then if he's 45 yards, quite naturally, I spend my dog. But 40 yards, from 0 to 40, it's like money. But anyway, I hope this helped you guys. I'm gonna take me a couple more shots, and finally I was able to do a video on a warm day because I'm not freezing today. So I'm gonna go ahead and conclude this video. It'll take me a couple more shots and let you guys listen to the sound of the bow, and then we're gonna be out of here. All right, I'm gonna take me a couple more shots at 40. Then I'm gonna get out of here. I got to stay in shape. I'm 51 years old. Got to stay in shape for my wife because my wife called me old. So I got to make sure I stay young for her because she's a mess. Called me old, so I got to keep proving her wrong year after year. Make sure I stay in the frame. Let you guys listen to this bow. 40 yards again. One thing I love about this bow, I don't float as much as I did with my triax. I think it's because this axle to axle is 30 inches, and that's what I'm so much used to. 30 to 31 inches is perfect for me. So I'm gonna take a couple more shots because I'm having fun. Okay, I'm back. Just like I had mentioned early on in the video, I'm gonna share some of my bonus footage with you guys on my Africa trip, October 2016. And like I said, once again, I was using 400 grain arrow. I was using the Slick Trick Magnums and the 4-blade, Slick Trick Magnum 4-blade. But this that particular hunt, I had my Halon 6, and it was only shooting 311 feet per second. That is fast, but like I said, my Vertix is shooting 321. So that's just simply amazing on how quiet and how fast Matthews made that bow. And that's just the ultimate killer machine. I mean, there's no other way to put it. And the grip, that engaged grip is amazing. The Integrate MX Ultra Rest that Matthews put on there for me before they even shipped the bow, sweeter than butter. So like I said, once again, go ahead and check out this footage, and let me know what you think. And some guys say, hey, still 400 grain arrow is too light for them. I understand. You do whatever works for you. But I just thought maybe I'd share this tip with you guys, and hopefully it'll help somebody. But check this footage out. Take one more step. Ready? Yep. Yep. Thanks for watching. Iceman signing out. God bless. Take care.